no. Where did Kevin go? I'm so lost without Kevin. What's going on, everybody? That's right. The dynamic duo, the two guys that have the most views on the channel in the shortest amount of time, Dan Bags and John Ackerman, coming at you for what will probably be an abbreviated Movie Dudes podcast. I've been saying for weeks that we want a tight 45.
We're going to get a tight 45.
And without Duffy and Duggan, I think we're going to get a tight 45.
It may be possible.
Yeah, but don't be mistaken, our no zero viewers. Duffy did tell us what we have to talk about. he has recused himself because he was not able to go to the early screening of Superman, and he wants us to talk about Superman like so bad, but he doesn't want us to spoil it for him, which, I mean, I don't blame him for that. So whatever.
I will say this though, he has asked me so many goddamn questions. He may have already watched the movie.
He should.
He's like, don't spoil the movie for me, but answer this. Don't spoil the movie for me, but answer this. And I'm like, do you want me just to tell you the fucking movie, Kevin? What are you doing? What are we doing here?
He really wants to see the movie.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah,
I know it.
I thought there was a little thing that was for the off the top. Maybe it's oh, there it is. Here we go. Okay, John. So, question for you.
Yes.
Hypothetical question. You are on a road trip and you're driving and you say, "Oh God, I'm hungry. Let's get some food." You get off the highway and you find a place where there are 4 buildings like this. You have a McDonald's, a Burger King, a Wendy's, and a Chick-fil-A. All right there. Which one you going to?
I got to ask, context for this for me is everything. Do I still have a long distance to travel?
Sure. You have, it's a 2-hour drive and you're 1 hour in.
Burger King is immediately out. Fucks with my stomach.
Why? Because you know you're going to shit your pants?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm going to want onion rings. Onion rings are going to react poorly with me. It's going to be bad. I'm going to get yelled at on my ride. Right? I think I'm going Chick-fil-A.
You're going Chick-fil-A. Okay.
I think I'm going to go Chick-fil-A.
What are you getting at Chick-fil-A?
Oh, I get a deluxe. Like a deluxe number 1. With the fries. Yeah.
Deluxe.
Yeah.
All right. We're taking Chick-fil-A out of the equation. Now it's just 3 buildings.
McDonald's. No, Wendy's.
Okay.
Wendy's. I'm sorry.
Oh,
You said Wendy's.
Yeah.
Wendy's is my second choice. McDonald's is a third, and Burger King's always going to be dead last. So.
Yep. Yeah, Burger King gives me wicked toots.
Yeah, it whatever they do with some of their food, it just fucks my stomach up. Wendy's is as close to Chick-fil-A. Wendy's is as close to Five Guys Chick-fil-A like as it gets when it comes down to being fast food. Like a Dave's single is just tastes good. You know, so just saying.
They use quality ingredients, fresh, never frozen.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Neither do I.
That shit
the whole reason. Sure. The whole reason I'm asking is I had McDonald's for dinner today, and the snack wrap is back, Jack. I know that Kevin was going hardcore on it, arguing with me that the McCrispy strips could not be as good as the chicken selects from the days of yore, which is what gave birth to the snack wrap, obviously.
Right. Yep.
So it has now done it, and the McDonald's app straight up says, "You did this. Here, order the new snack wrap." It was like, you people bitched and moaned so much on social media that now we have to fucking do it again.
Well, interesting enough, Pepsi did that too, and they brought back Crystal Pepsi for a period of time as well.
Yeah, but
So
I think that was a fucking joke.
yeah, that was so gross.
I gotta say, the snack wraps are just as good as they were.
Okay.
Well done.
I've never been a fan. That's just me though.
Well, that's because you don't like things like Christmas.
It's nothing to do with anything.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, I will say this though. My coworker Sue, every time for whatever reason she goes and gets Happy Meals, right? And every time that she gets like this, like a toy in it, right at work, she gives it to me. She goes, "This reminded me of you," and it was like it was a How to Train Your Dragon Mr. Potato Head type of toy.
Mhm.
I was like, and it was like a little Viking that was like like this, and she's like, she handed it to me. And I was like, "Great, thank you so much, Sue."
John, that
He's
what
a-
you just did reminded me of Mr. Potato Body.
Yes,
How
yes.
dare you? How dare you?
Oh
Inside joke that we're not going to share with anybody.
no, not even a little bit.
Deal with it.
I will
All
say
right.
shout out. I will say shout out to Jay and Ricky for going ahead
Yes.
and attending the Superman premiere with us. They weren't in the video, but they did appear. They did attend with us. So thanks so much, guys. Do appreciate
Even though
it.
Ricky is not going to be watching because this is way past his bedtime,
Way past his
as
bedtime.
he felt the need to tell me.
First time meeting you. Listen, I don't watch this.
Yeah,
It is past my bedtime.
Listen, love the podcast. I've watched it once, but normally I've been asleep for a half hour at that point. And then we go ahead and blame Kevin.
Yep.
Sorry, speaking of the early screening, let's talk briefly. Oh, we gotta get rid of off the top. Let's talk briefly about the Rotten Tomatoes scores. Per usual, critic scores are always substantially lower than the audience scores. But when you look at these numbers, you're seeing 83% on critics, and that's 229 reviews versus 96% from the audience at 1,000 plus reviews. I mean, our out of theater review would side a little more with the critics.
Yep.
Because we went in thinking it was going to be a 6 out of 10. We had set our expectations low, as they normally should be set for a movie from the DC universe.
100%.
Leading up to this, that was the pre-James Gunn DC universe. However, we were both pleasantly surprised, and we were somewhere between, I said an 8, you said 8.5, which would put smack dab in the middle, 83%. So I guess we agree with the critics on this one.
Like my thing would be is that like I sit there, I look at this, I go 83% on the critics end, not bad. That's actually pretty fucking fantastic for a Superman movie on the overall.
Yeah.
And the fact that the audience is scoring it at 96%, even with all the some of the outside haters that may or may not like the previous director and the universe that was going there. Like let's be honest, man. The movie was just fantastic.
It was.
So
it was. So I mean to look at this, because a lot of times when you have a movie like this come out, you see a bigger gap between critics and audiences, where you'll have audiences doing 96% and critics being like 64%. This was hot garbage. And that's when I tend to just kind of write off what the critics are saying.
I'm going to throw some shade at a particular organization right now. You mean like the Boston Herald that rated the movie as a C fucking plus?
Who from the Boston Herald is? Who's reading the Boston Herald?
That's one.
And who from the Boston Herald is actually going to see this movie and giving it a C plus?
Well, interesting story is that Ricky is the one that told me about it and sent me a picture of the review rating, and I was like,
so the answer to question number 1 is Ricky.
Weirdly enough, yes,
is still reading the Boston Herald. Got it.
Got it.
That's
a C
that's
plus.
Unfair.
Yeah, it's so fucking bullshit in my opinion to give it a C plus.
Yes,
so
that's unfair. I mean, like if they came and said B minus plus on top of it, who the fuck is rating it like it's a fucking essay in college? Who's rating it that way? The Boston
Nobody.
Herald, that's who.
Yeah,
They said, we
apparently.
need more readers. How do we do that? Great movies like it's high school. So that's just odd. I personally like you choose 5 or 10.
Yeah,
That's my
5 out of 10.
thought.
Let's give it 5 Conor McGregors.
Yeah. How many Tara Reeds, though?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude,
That's a
this
good
movie
question.
was at least 16 and a half Tara Reeds.
100%.
Yeah.
Gotta go above and beyond.
Yeah. Nobody knows what the top end of the Tara Reid scale on the Movie Dudes podcast actually is. We don't even know.
No, we really don't.
Just know that 16 is probably pretty damn good.
Yeah.
All right. So everything else being said, the real question is, will the DCU's comics come to life approach work?
I think it's going to. And the reason why I say this is that I'm going to look at Nathan Fillion specifically for Guy Gardner, right?
Mhm.
His portrayal of Guy from comics to screen is fucking awesome. It's just awesome across the board. He crushes that. Guy Gardner is such a cocky, douchey type of individual, and Nathan Fillion
With a bad
brings
haircut.
that with a bad haircut, right? Nathan Fillion brings that shit to the forefront and keeps it in your face, and it's wonderful. He does such a good job with it. I can't say anything bad about his his performance in that. So I'm very impressed. I think it's going to do extremely well. I'm waiting to see. I would love to see how they're going to bring the. Like, let's face it, Batman movies are going to always crush, right? For the most part, you know.
So that is one thing I want to touch on after
Yeah.
you're done here.
And like I think I said it in the out of maybe I said it in the out of theater review. I know that I said it to you personally. I definitely want to see a Mr. Terrific movie.
Oh my god.
You know,
I would too.
so I mean,
I'd
I'd
be
like to
fine with
see
that.
a little bit of a side Jimmy Olsen movie because I just want to know more about that pull that he's got going on.
Not yet. If you don't know what John was talking about with Guy Gardner, this is Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner versus some type of comic version of Guy Gardner. And I mean, he just looks like a douche in both.
Hey, but he
no,
pulls it off so well.
He does. They really did a great job in costume design to match what's from the comics. So I mean, I think it will work. And what I wanted to say about Batman is I know that there's been talk about the fact that the Matt Reeves Batman is not the Batman in this version of the DCU.
Right.
Even though some people have been saying, yes, we want it, but after watching the Superman, they're very, very different.
No shit, right?
They're very different. I could never see the Matt Reeves Batman with it being so fucking dark. And I have no problem with it being its own thing because the Batman was great. The Penguin was great. Let it be.
Yep.
Let it be. And if Batman needs to be in this, fine. But I also like the direction that it's already trying to go to with forming the original Justice League.
I like this as well. It's going to be like, obviously, like when you have a Batman movie that comes out that's going to sync up with this Superman movie, right? It's going to be a little bit darker, but it doesn't have to be the Batman dark or like the Dark Knight or the Christopher Nolan movies. I'd actually be like, I'd be okay with just a little bit darker and give him Robin. Give him the balancing act of either Dick Grayson as his Robin or Tim Drake. Like let's go one of those two.
Because I mean, like we don't need like the campy goofiness of like Adam West Batman to fit
No.
into this, even though I feel like it would fit nicely.
It would fit nicely, but
It
no.
would
No,
fit
it-
nicely, but nobody really wants that.
No.
I think a lighter Batman, lighter than Matt Reeves, because that is some dark ass shit. And I mean, to be honest, so was the Zack Snyder Batman stuff. I mean, I would say like Nolan level of darkness is about as dark as you could go to still fold into what we have seen so far.
I would like to see the interaction between Superman and Batman would be Superman being so chill about it, but at the same time, like, and like doing the whole like X-ray vision thing, right? And then sitting there and seeing that it's Bruce Wayne, right? And then Bruce Wayne just like showing up at his apartment,
Yeah.
being like, "What's up, bro?" Just like doing the animated series, which is something that, like, again, this movie felt very much like the animated series.
Mhm.
So,
yeah. All right. So yes. End of the
also,
day, John and I both believe that the comics come to life approach is going to work.
I think that when they finally do bring in characters like from Creature Commandos into the DC universe live action, I think that's going to be fantastic. Because let's face
That
it,
will be.
I love me a GI robot. I need one in my life.
Oh, as do I. And that being it, the other thing that I'll say is that I believe that this approach will work for DC. And at the same time, and I said this in our chat, is if the Fantastic Four is anything but fantastic, DC is going to dethrone Marvel as the top of the superhero movie gamut.
Well,
Hands down.
it seems like they're like, if we're being honest, right, with James Gunn at the helm for this particular movie, right, and for the DC universe, it seems like they're due, because let's face it, they have had shit show after shit show of movies for the DC universe, and this has been bad, just been bad across the board, you know.
And then we ask the question, who's to blame? The answer is Zack Snyder.
You know,
100%.
it is. We got a
Yep.
comment if you want to go and link that shit.
We have a comment?
Yeah, I miss sleep.
Oh. Is it true that John and the two strangers paid Kevin for the tickets to Superman, but you didn't? I heard that. Yes, it is.
Yes, that's correct.
But I was going to sell Kevin the sweet snow globe that we got for free for $20 and
That's
just
correct.
call it even.
That's correct.
Well, what's in that snow globe, John?
It's the Fortress of Solitude.
Oh yes, the Fortress
Yeah.
of Solitude. And I mean, big snow globe too.
Yeah.
Really big snow globe. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm busy. I'll get you your money, you son of a bitch. Jeez.
I mean, you make it seem like you don't see the guy during hockey, or
I
you know.
don't see him. He's not on the fucking team.
Oh,
He
shit.
subs. He said, "Oh, I want to be the longest tenured sub." And I said, "Good fucking luck." Aqua has like 3 full seasons of subbage.
So like, I think that in the next 2 weeks, when Fantastic Four does come out, right? I've already got my worry about that movie because of previous installments of it, right?
Well, I mean, no version has been good.
Correct. So I'm very hesitant about it. I'm gonna, like, obviously we're seeing it, you know.
Wait, we are?
Gonna be,
Do I have to pay Kevin for that too? What the hell?
I think.
Oh my god! I was told that this was all going to be free, like the Metallica concert.
I heard this is going to be pro bono. That's what I heard.
I thought that Kevin was just buying tickets so he didn't have to, for other people, so he didn't have to go by himself. But we all know Duffy has no issue going to movies by himself.
You know, honestly, I like going to movies by myself too. Matinees are where it's at. Period.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah. If I'm off on a Friday and there's a movie that I really want to see, and the wife is like, "No," I'm like, "All right."
see ya.
Plus, I mean, I literally have a movie theater 5 minutes down the street from my house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do I not? How do I not?
But yeah, I think that the Fantastic Four, if it's not anything other than absolutely spectacular,
Mm.
it's not going to dethrone Superman. I think Superman's going to crush the box office this entire month for people who haven't seen it and the people who are going to be seeing it. Um,
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to see it again.
my wife wants to see it, so I may be seeing it again. We haven't
Does she
decided
want to
yet.
go? Does she want to go with me?
She could if you want.
I mean, if you didn't feel like seeing it, I've never met your wife, but just
Yeah,
hey, let's meet at the theater.
just saying.
Yeah,
You've
me
never
and
met me
John's
before.
wife. And then I know her name, but I'll just call her John's wife the entire time.
It's all right because Kevin calls her knife wife. So
Well, she did stab you, so
once.
once is all you need.
I mean, she
Oh
kicked through a
God.
couple of pieces of furniture, but I mean, stabbed once, and that everybody just holds on to that one. But that's fine.
Well, yeah. All right, so now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the thing. Let's do a non-spoiler review, a little more in depth than what we covered in the out of theater, which was only about 2 minutes. So, John, for history's sake, go. It's so loud.
That's so loud. Let's start off with what I loved about the movie, right? Just about everything.
Yes,
I
you
think
loved
that
everything.
just about everything. Um, I think that Nicholas Holt might be the best Lex Luthor that's ever been on screen.
I was going to say the exact same thing, where he just somehow hits the egomaniacal nail on the head that is supposed to be Lex Luthor so perfectly.
100%.
So
He
perfectly.
he hits that like when he hits that envy mark where he wants to be that superior, right?
Yep.
And he sits there and he this when he shows rage, when he shows his emotion, like even in the sociopathic way, right? He is just on a different level. And I'm just like, Nick, I think it's Nicholas Holt's like some of his best work.
It
So,
might be.
yeah.
It might be. Because
Uh,
I would say the only thing that is kind of up there is whatever his fucking name was in Mad Max Fury Road. Because that took a lot of range for him to be that war boy and then to start to be unpale and kind of change throughout.
right.
So it was kind of like him breaking good in that, and I mean he did a really good job on that. But I mean, you look at some other stuff, like I was never a fan of him as Beast.
No. It's first class. It's before he really goes to that second mutation part of it, right? But then he goes into being like the blue man, right? Um,
Although if you did watch The Great,
I did not.
you didn't. So
No.
he is Tsar Peter
Okay.
the second. Phenomenal.
Oh, I do know of this. I do know of
He
it. I've
is
never watched it.
He is phenomenal. Everything he says and does is unbelievable. He's just I mean, I liked him before. But him in The Great just like bumped him up like 4 pegs in my book, and I was like, Nicholas Holt. Ah, so good. Show's really good. I highly
Absolutely.
recommend you watch it. I think it's only like 2 seasons.
I bet the wife would like it because she likes that era.
She
So I'll
would. My
probably watch
wife
it with
liked
her.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corn Sweat, right?
Sweaty
I
corn
was
cob.
Yeah, I was absolutely delighted with his delivery, with his acting ability, having never seen him in anything before.
You
He
didn't see
not
Twisters?
I haven't seen Twisters, no.
Okay.
Right. If I'm being fair, right? He knocked it out of the goddamn park. I was so impressed by him.
He really does play the like I'll say the proper goody two shoes version of Superman. Like almost like the doesn't swear business.
What the hey?
What the hey? I was like, did he just say that? But he really does. But then on the flip side, he has that little secret bit where the stuff between him and Lois Lane was pretty hot and heavy. Two times. Two times. Yeah. And I was honestly surprised that was in there.
I was surprised as well. Right. Yeah, he delivered extremely well. I can't say enough good things about that. The kid's amazing. I can't wait to see him in more work beyond this. I will also say that I will take back what I've said about him previously. His quads look pretty fucking good in that movie. And
his quads did look good. And we're gonna touch upon that when we break into the spoiler talk.
Spoiler review. Yeah.
The spoiler talk specifically for one specific thing. But there's something else where, I mean, I know that there was a lot of talk about just the sheer number of speaking roles in this movie.
Yes.
And I know that James Gunn's response to that was, well, Oppenheimer has 3 times as many or twice as many speaking roles than we do. And nobody had a problem with that for them. The writing was really good.
Yeah, it all synced up. It all synergized extremely well, right?
It did.
Even the sportscaster guy, when
Beck Bennett,
yes,
is great.
He's fantastic, right?
And he what does he have, like 4 lines?
Not like something like that. Yeah, it's like not even a lot of lines. It's just they're fantastic lines for when he is there, right? Like when Jimmy Olsen is talking, you're like, I'm invested in what Jimmy is doing.
Oh, you're not even. I can't even remember anything that he said in that conversation because I was busy. I was busy trying to figure out the Jimmy Olsen game. What the fuck was going on?
Yes.
I don't know. I was entranced by that, and I was not listening to a damn word that Beck Bennett was saying. I do know that I did hear what he said when he asked why he didn't have a seat.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yes.
Tough shit.
Yeah. It's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah, we're getting on the edge. We're getting on the edge. Bring it back. Bring it back. This is not, to me, this is not a spoiler because it is just information you can get off of IMDb because that's where I'm getting it. The robot voices, obviously, everybody knows that Alan Tudyk was number 4/Gary.
Yep. Yes.
Do you know some of the voices of the other robots?
No.
Michael Rooker.
Really?
Palm Clementif.
Huh.
And Grace Chan.
Michael Rooker, though? I mean,
Michael Rooker.
No
and
shit.
Palm Clementif. So Yondu and Mantis were voicing some of the Superman robots.
To be clear, I'm not surprised that James Gunn has pulled some people from his previous works. Right?
He does that all the time.
All the time. But that just shows that he has got a good personal relationship with the people that he's working with.
It does.
And they got minor roles. Fantastic. Nice work, guys. Across the board.
Because, I mean, honestly, I mean, Tudyk probably spent a couple days in a sound booth. But any of the other Superman robots, I don't really recall them saying much of anything else.
Besides,
other than maybe like 2 lines, if that.
Number 11. Number 11 has more lines than the other ones.
Number 11 isn't even any of those people.
Oh, is that okay? Well, never mind.
Rooker is number 1. Palm Clementif is number 5, and Grace Chan is number 12.
Maybe it's 12 I'm thinking about. Because I think that
she was the new one?
Yes.
You talking? Okay, yeah. That was Grace Chan.
So, yeah. I would never have guessed that. Yeah, no, it's like I said, this movie is fantastic. I think it's like 8.5 out of 10, solid across the board. I think everybody should see it. I've told everybody at work they should go see it. Um, obviously, the
It's
wife
a
wants
fun
to go
ride.
see it. It really is.
All right.
You know, it grips you from the start to the finish across the board, so it's fantastic.
It does. All right. So now let's switch a little bit. Let's break into some spoiler talk. So if you don't want any spoilers, now's the time to stop watching live. You number one person that's watching live. Oh, they stopped. All right. One
Spoiler
thing that
talk.
I absolutely love right out the gate about this is the fact that we do not have to spend a half hour talking about the origin of Superman. We've done
Yes.
it so many fucking times. We spent what? A total of 2 minutes?
With
Three
the tech,
centuries ago?
yeah, 3 centuries, 30 years,
Yeah.
3 years now. 3 minutes
Yep.
ago.
And then fucking boom, right into the Arctic.
I love the fact that you think that that whistling scene happens later in the movie, right?
Yep.
And it's right in the fucking beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's right at the start. And you're like, oh, you just got your ass handed to you, sir. That's interesting. Huh. You know? And yeah, he lands by the Fortress of Solitude, right? I don't know if that's by design or what, but I mean, it's great that he fucking lands there, right? It's great that Crypto beats the bag out of him before dragging him to the fortress.
I gotta say, the sound of Crypto running up in that theater where we were in was unbelievable.
Sounded great.
That entire fucking theater was shaking at a dog running.
Yeah. It sounded like a goddamn freight train coming straight towards you. It sounded fantastic.
And I think it was just the fact that there was like no other sound happening, that it was just extra amplified, him running in. But I was like, holy shit.
I like the fact that once they get him into the fortress, they make him an ant under a magnifying glass with the fucking sun to accelerate the healing on him. I'm like, genius. Like, yeah, we don't have time to wait for you just to regular heal. We're gonna go ahead and like really focus that shit on you.
Yeah.
Right? click, click, click.
Here we go.
And he's like, oh, Jesus Christ. That was great.
And that's also when we get our first kind of cameo with Bradley Cooper as
Jor-El.
Jor-El.
So this is what Duffy was asking me. He goes like, "What?" He goes, "How is Bradley Cooper as Jor-El?" I go, "He's there.
He speaks like, no English."
He goes, "Well, what was his speaking roles like?" I go, "No idea. They were all in Kryptonian. No idea what the fuck he was saying."
Yep.
I go, "You could say he was saying anything," and I'd be like, "Yes, that's exactly what he was saying."
Yeah. And then the mom looked so familiar, but I was looking at her IMDb page and I'm like, I don't know where I know you from.
I was like, she's pretty, she's attractive, like she fits the bill. I thought she was good for the role.
Yeah.
For what she did.
Again, not speaking English at all.
Nope, not even a little bit.
All in Kryptonian.
You know, that's also
now that we're
like Crypto went ahead and ripped apart the Fortress of Solitude a little bit as well. Yeah,
that was fun.
You're like, what the hey, man?
That was fun. And you're thinking to yourself, why is he keeping this dog? And it's not until, and we'll continue on with some of these cameos. It's not until the end where you find out that Crypto is actually Supergirl's dog, and Millie Alcock shows up drunk as a skunk.
Yeah.
To pick up her dog, and the dog just absolutely kicks the fucking shit out of her.
Just dragging her in circles, right?
Yep.
You're like, well, this
she's
is
like,
why. It's like they're like, this is the reason why he is the way he is, because there's no boundaries. No boundaries.
Yep. Just Superman and Gary talking about how there's no boundaries.
Yeah.
No boundaries at all. Let's talk about that Peacemaker cameo though.
Oh, Peacemaker cameo. I brought that up today, right? Because it doesn't affect the story, right?
Not at all.
It's just a fantastic cameo for him sitting on there, and they're like, "Hey, Chris," and he's like, "Yeah, what's going on?" And he's just talking shit about Superman,
saying that the other metahumans are jealous of him because they're not as jacked as he is. And when he said that, I immediately thought of Duggan complaining about Corn Sweat's quads. I was like, oh shit. Because we talk about Cena constantly, and we talk
Yeah.
about how his body is not normal.
No, he's a shaved gorilla.
He is a shaved gorilla. And I mean, nobody fucking is as jacked as he is. And that's, I think, what just makes the joke so great.
Yeah.
And speaking
You
of
know?
jokes, they are subtle, well timed, and well delivered.
Extremely fun.
Extremely fun. Nothing like over the top that's going to make you die laughing. But I laughed quite a bit, specifically when Lois told Guy Gardner that his haircut should be against his oath.
Dude, his response to it is even better. I'll have you know, 348 women think this haircut is awesome or great. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck, man? That's a very specific number.
He's counted. You're counting. You're counting. I also love how bad the Justice Gang is.
Yeah.
Specifically how bad Guy Gardner is. And I told you going in that at first when Mr. Terrific shows up and he's in his fucking little recliner thing and he's got his little balls and they're going after, I don't even remember what the fuck it was. Was it the giant goblin thing?
Yeah, the giant kaiju.
Okay. They're going after that and he's just like doing shit and I'm like, this guy fucking sucks. This guy sucks. Hawkgirl gets stuck in the eyeball, and then Guy Gardner builds what? The little thing that holds the eyelid open and is just continuously poking it in the eye.
It was so uncomfortable. But the fact that he put oven mitts on it was also fantastic.
Yep.
He's like, I gave it oven mitts.
Yeah, everything. I mean, he is clearly like the worst Green Lantern in the Lantern Corps. He has to be, because I feel like he doesn't have the imagination that is needed to be a good Green Lantern.
See, that's the crazy part. He becomes other lanterns and later on in the comics and stuff like that, right? But he is known as having some of those strongest constructs because of his douchiness and his will to not give up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the most complete constructs, just some of the strongest.
No. It just takes him some time to figure out what's going to work best.
Like
I also like
the giant eyeball in the background. He's hitting it with a bat.
Yep. Well, I wanted to touch on that in a few minutes. The going back to the kaiju thing where Superman's like, I want to take him somewhere safe and study him. And then Mr. Terrific just sends the balls down into his belly and blows him up.
Boom.
And he's using the X-ray vision to see just everything. And he's like, well, fuck. Well, that didn't work. And then I'm like, these guys suck. They're terrible.
Yes.
They're just a terrible group. And I mean, it is then again shown how bad they are at what they do when Superman is relaxing in his very nice apartment. And you just see that weird tentacle thing. What did he say? It was an imp or something in the background.
Extra dimensional imp in the background. Yeah.
It's floating around and you just see random shit happening back there, including that giant baseball bat where it's just swinging and trying to whack him. And they're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
Superman and Lois Lane are just having a conversation. And in the background, you're just catching glimpses of this poorly planned out battle between the interdimensional imp and the not Justice Gang.
Yeah. Well, you know what I like about that scene specifically is Lois goes, should you give them a hand? And he's like, no, they got it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was telling my wife about this. I was like, we were shitting on that poster so hard.
Oh, yeah.
So hard, being like, what the fuck is he doing there? What the fuck is he doing there? He's just sitting there relaxing, and Metropolis is under attack by this giant thing that we're going to assume is the main bad guy.
It's just a nothing thing.
It turns out it's just nothing thing. It's a regular fucking Tuesday afternoon. And I mean, it was great. I felt bad that we shit on it so much because in the end, it was it was one of those things in the movie where I was like, this was good. That was
Oh
good.
yeah, 100%. I like the hammer of Bavaria, or whatever the hell it was, right? How they had the giant, yeah, the, the giant metal suit, and I was like, that guy looks jacked. And then he starts beating the shit out of Clark, just beating the shit out of him. You're like, and then you come to find out that Lex is controlling the entire thing by pressing the cheat code buttons, right?
Yep.
He's using Game Genie, and you're like, get the fuck out of here, man. That's wild.
And to also find out that the hammer of Boravia is just Ultraman inside of it.
Yep.
And I mean the whole wormhole situation that Lex Luthor set up in his pocket universe is insane. What I'll say about that is, because I did say that I hated Mr. Terrific the first time that we saw him, and then he won my heart. He won my heart over when he absolutely decimated that camp of people.
Oh, yes.
Just unbelievable. His space ride in his slow opening garage, I was like, this dude still sucks. And then they show up there and he just, oh my God.
Force field around Lois. Force field around Lois. And all of a sudden the T-spheres are just fucking ripping through people. You're like, oh no. This guy is amazing. I think it might be the best fight scene in the entire movie.
It is.
So, I mean, he just crushes it across the board.
And then, per usual, right out of James Gunn, perfect music for what was going on.
Absolutely.
Yep. It is so, not what you would expect for a song to be going during that, but it was great.
You know what I like about Mr. You know what I like about Mr. Terrific as well is how non-emotional he is about certain things, right?
Yeah.
He's completely detached from almost everything, except for when he finds out. He goes, "Motherfucker, create a pocket universe." Does he know how dangerous that is?
Yep. He just gets pissed about that. Then he goes, "Oh, I found him. He's got a dog, a weird baby, and a squiggly man."
That's another thing. Kerrigan as Metamorpho, right? Excellent. Absolutely
that
excellent.
Man can do no wrong in my book.
He is astonishingly good,
And to go from him with the kryptonite hand being like, "Don't fucking talk to me," and then I told you not to talk to me, and then when they shoot that guy to just absolutely bawling his eyes out, to then he gets Baby Joey back.
Yes.
And then he's just, hey, whatever. He's a happy dude.
He's sitting there and he's like, I can't make a son. He goes, but I can make something similar. Right. And he sits there and he starts putting everything together. And I'm like, this guy is going to create a fucking an explosion, like a nuclear explosion. Right. And the fact that he does it, he gives him just a little bit of juice. You're like, fuck yes. I will say that looked like the guy who was driving the cart for that little lift that Lex was on.
Mr. Mr. What's his face?
Yes.
What fucking name did he have? I found it so weird when he was like, hold on, let me see if I can find it.
He looks like a white Martian. That's the thing that a lot of people were talking about, right? And I mean, very well could be.
It might be. He reminded me a lot of, and I may be saying this wrong, Sharon, the ferryman over the river Styx.
Yep.
Did I say that
right? I can
right?
understand that. Yes.
That's what it reminded me of, but he definitely looked very alien-like. He may not even be on here because there was no speaking part to it. He was just all CGI.
But I'm going to talk about the two things
he's very creepy.
I'm going to touch base on the two things that I didn't like. Right. I think one of them was just an oversight, and the other one is a really type of moment. The oversight would be the bridge with the lady with the building.
Well,
right. Yes.
First of all, how is go?
It's not the fact that the building's about to drop on her and it's not crumbling all around Superman while he's holding it. That's fine. It's the fact that there were people fucking driving past her, right? And they were fleeing on that bridge on foot, right? When she drives away, there is fucking nobody on that bridge. I'm like, they didn't evacuate that bridge that fast. You know?
It was the most well planned and well executed evacuation of a major city in the history of the
Ever.
world.
Yes. So
I mean,
that.
they got everybody out, even though you really only need to worry about the people that were in the path
the
of the
line.
rift.
Yes.
That's all you really need to worry about.
Well, and when the fucking buildings were just doing this and
well, yeah, the domino effect.
Yeah.
That kind of ended
Yeah.
up getting to that bridge.
Yeah.
What was your other thing?
It's actually the end of the movie where Superman and Lois go into the mall, right? And I'm like, and they sit there and they're kissing and he flies up. I'm like, excuse me, sir, that is a high-end mall. Do you think they don't have fucking cameras? But you are smooching your lady right now and you're flying up in the air?
There was no electricity.
Yep, sure.
I did love when Wendell Pierce just watches that and he goes to Jimmy and goes, so how long they been hooking up? And he's just like, oh, about 3 months. And it was spot on. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly 3 months. And it was just like, oh shit. So speaking of Jimmy.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Jimmy's game is otherworldly.
Jimmy's game. And it's never explained.
Nope.
It's never explained why all these hot women are swooning over him, why Lex Luthor's current girlfriend is still infatuated with him, and why she wants to spend the rest of her life with him.
I'm telling you right now, that guy has got to be like the best giver of all time, right? He's got to like be a Podrick Payne, right? Like type of person. Like I gave him money, but they just gave it back.
Yeah, because it reminded me, it was reminiscent of Will Ferrell in The Other Guys.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, that's actually explained, kind of.
Yep, a little bit.
Kind of, but not really. He was a pimp. Don't you know Gators ladies always wear jimmies? That was kind of explained, but not really. But I mean, it was the same kind of thing where they were just like attractive women all like, oh, Jimmy.
Like they would give him the eyes and he'd sit there and he'd look over, he'd see him and he'd be like, okay, yeah. Right. But it's the fact that he called Lex's current girlfriend mutant toes. And I was like, why are you not showing her feet? I gotta know why he's calling her that.
Yeah. And that she still fucking loves him for it.
Yeah.
She still loves him for it. We skipped a cameo. The very brief, I mean, it had to be done. The very brief Sean Gunn cameo as Maxwell Lord.
Yes.
I'm assuming that will probably play into it somewhere later on down the line.
I'm assuming so as well. Yeah, no, and like the end fight scene with Ultraman is good, right? I know that you don't like the engineer.
Right? I can't stand the engineer.
Right. I like the engineer as a character, right? I understand like you don't like the actress, that like you think she's like super stiff or whatever, right?
I mean, it could have been the costume, but she just doesn't walk like a normal person.
That's fair, you know.
And I don't know why. She just was not moving. She was not moving correctly. Like almost as if like if there wasn't an IMDb page for this person, I would think she was all AI.
Fair enough. I thought the idea of filling Superman's lungs with nanites was such a great idea on the overall. I was like, that is a smart idea. Watching him, like when Kevin watches this movie, right? That spot where he's vomiting and
like that.
Right, he's gonna be like,
he might throw up in his lap.
Yes, and I can't wait. I can't wait for him to see it and be like, he goes, that was so disgusting. I'm like, I know.
Yeah. Speaking of which, big spoiler, Ultraman is a clone of Superman. What? Yeah. What? Did you know that? Was that really a spoiler for you? Did you know that was going to happen?
It was thought that was something along the way, somewhere in that area of, right? I didn't think it was going to be like alternate universe Ultraman at all. But it's not unexpected. I mean, if you're going to have somebody go toe to toe with Superman, right, like that, and to go ahead and give him some trouble, you have to have somebody that's on his level, right?
Mhm.
So Lobo, Mongol, Darkseid, people of that nature, Captain Atom to a degree, right? So it's just
Well,
what you get.
Lobo's coming later.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa is going to crush that role.
He really
Gonna
is,
crush
because I
it.
mean, he basically looks exactly like him without
100%.
the face paint. I mean, it's like, how did you not? It was like, we want to bring Lobo into this. Well, let's call Jason Momoa. We're not going to have to spend that much money on makeup.
Jason Momoa is like, I'll bring my own fucking motorcycle too.
Yeah, he's like, I have that motorcycle. I'm ready to go.
You know,
Yeah.
he's gonna crush that role so goddamn hard. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, it sets up a lot of good things. I love it. I will say that I don't think the mid scene credit is anything special. It is what it is. The after credit scene is funny.
Yes.
Yes.
I enjoyed that, and I especially enjoyed it because we were totally talking about it during the credits about how they fixed the rift and they're just like, everything's back together, we're good. And they're like, oh,
Only no structural issue whatsoever.
but you're not.
Yeah.
But you're not. And
Yeah.
Superman's pointing it out, and Mr. Terrific is just like,
I
the
put it
fuck
back
did
together.
you want me to do? Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you know, it's just a little off. He goes, I don't like you. Just walks away. He's like, yeah, no, I guess I'm a jerk. Yeah, I get it.
It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I think I might have to see it again. I might have to see it again. I mean, I'll have to pay Duffy for the first ticket before I see it again.
Just hand him a piece of paper that says, I owe you.
Yeah. I mean, he's subbed for the hockey team about 4 times, and I used to charge people $10 to do that. So technically he owes me $20. So
oh shit.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you have to say other than it was good?
The lady who plays Cat is hot as hell.
Yeah. That was surprising.
Her name is Michaela Hoover. She's going to be at Terrificon at the Mohegan Sun sometime in, I think, August. But she's going to be there with Kerrigan. So anybody who wants to go see her, right? That's where she's going to be. She's going to be with Anthony Kerrigan, and have a blast if you go. But yeah, Comic-Cons in the area, I have pretty much an in on for who's going to be where. So,
are you going?
No. those autographs cost a lot of money.
Oh, I'm too old to go now.
Well, yeah, and like what Mohegan Sun is what, in Connecticut?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't go to Connecticut. Sorry, Duggan.
Send Duggan there.
Yeah.
Send Duggan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Duggan, you should go. Get autographs for everybody.
Duggan, you should actually be on the podcast like you're supposed to be. I get it. He's on lake time right now.
It's probably what it is. Anyways.
All right. Well, I mean, a tight 53 wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's under an hour.
Yeah.
Solid.
Which is surprising for us. I don't know what we do at the end. All right. All right. Well, until next week. Well, what we'll say first before we say until next week, please do yourself a favor. Go and see Superman this weekend. Pump those numbers up. It's really good. Take it from us. We saw it on Tuesday because we're special.
I don't think you're going to be disappointed in the slightest.
You will not. You don't even really have to like Superman that much, like me, to enjoy this movie. So go see it. Highly recommended by the two of us, the two of the podcasts that have seen it. So go do that. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this kind of content and other movie content, because we do it every single Thursday. Sometimes there's 4 of us. Sometimes there's 2. I thought it was only going to be me today, and if it was, I wasn't going to do it. But John joined, so we're good.
So the other thing I would sit there and say is, ladies and gentlemen, if you view this this particular episode or any of our other previous episodes, leave us a comment of things you might want us to watch, like wicked bad movies or otherwise, movies that you think are fantastic, so that way we can review them as well. We always like the engagement from the audience, so please do so.
Yeah, like Mr. Vampire 3 or Hellboy the Crooked Man.
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of which, real quick, I was watching our trailer reaction to Hellboy the Crooked Man, and you said that you were going to watch it. Have you watched it?
I haven't watched it yet.
I said I was going to watch it when it was free, and I started and I stopped 10 minutes in because it was so fucking bad. I have to go back to it and finish watching it, because when I was watching our reaction, the trailer was on. I was like, the trailer actually looked kind of good. Maybe I'll have to give it another shot. So
I will give it a shot.
Okay, we'll do that. Till next time, adieu.